Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Friday, December 30th, 2022, and one of the breaking stories this evening, longtime TV journalist Barbara Walters has died at the age of 93, and 93 is a very special number to certain secret societies. If you're new here, Aleister Crowley had a religion that worshipped the number 93 called Thelema. Aleister Crowley also wrote books on a topic called Gematria, and of course there's a song out there called Gematria, the Killing Name, and in this occult study, the number 93 is connected to Saturn, and Saturn's astrological symbol, the scythe, is where the Grim Reaper's scythe comes from, and Saturn is connected to death and judgment, and she's died in the time of Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And again, when you know this knowledge of gematria, you can see just how perfect the ritual is. And sadly, the timing of the reporting of this death is a ritual. And if Barbara Walters did die today, it's highly likely that she did not die organically. Notice she was born September 25th, 1929, born September 25th, making today the 97th day of her age. And in Gematria, death does equal 97, but so does Capricorn. And again, Capricorn runs from about December 22nd to January 19th. So she is dead in the time of Capricorn, where the ruling planet is Saturn, and the Gematria of Saturn is 93. If you're new here, the first time you're watching this, if you're already ready to turn off, oh, not numerology, this is stupid, do not turn it off. Instead, go to my website, GematriaEffectNews, download my ebooks, download my first book, Letters and Numbers, and go to the last chapter, or actually, is it the last chapter? It's near the end. It's the chapter titled Murder by Numbers. And so many celebrity deaths documented in that chapter. The chapter is like a book within a book. It's over 150 pages long. Just that one chapter is. The book's about 800 pages. But so many of the celebrity deaths, I document the pattern with Saturn and 93. It's a long, long pattern. And so often when these people die, the numbers also connect to their career. And in the case of Barbara Walters, she was in the propaganda business. And if anyone feels scorned by that statement, that's the business she was in. She was in television, which is pretty much nonstop propaganda. In my lifetime, I haven't seen any real information on TV, just nonstop propaganda, agendas, misinformation, lies, needless build-up to needless war, cover-up for obvious false flags, scaring people into germs and Big Pharma's agenda, so on and so forth. And keep in mind, it's the propaganda business, it's the TV business. She's dead on December 30th, the only day in the calendar year where you can add the day and the month and it equals 42. TV has that Gematria 42. If you're new here, Gematria is very intuitive. It's the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26, 26-letter alphabet, and the reverse alphabetic order, and also the two orders using numerology. Just for the record, Saturn also has the 42 connection, dying in Capricorn on this day at age 93. And I want to go back and see when her first solo broadcast was. And officially it was October 4th, 1976. She'd been on before that, but that's when she became an anchor. And that was, of course, 46 years ago. October 4th, 1976 was 46 years ago. We talked about this number in a big way with what they did with the revelation in the Idaho murders earlier today, and why the news broke 46 days after the story first broke in Joe Biden's hometown, Scranton, where he's the second Catholic president. The first was JFK, killed at age 46 on 11/22 when they said these murders were at the address 1122 King Street, and the news broke on King Charles' birthday. Again, it's a lot that we've covered, but we were just talking about where 46 fits in with death this morning. Notice her surname Walters has the Gematria 46, like the word sacrifice. And again, Genesis 46 begins with the sacrifice. Genesis begins with mentioning the tree of life in Genesis 3:22, the physical model for Kabbalah, where this code of letters and numbers comes from. Again, it's all Jewish mysticism. Genesis 3:22, the tree of life, knowing good and evil. Kabbalah, 3 pillars, 22 paths. So that is the quick and dirty on Barbara Walters' reported death at age 93 on this day of all days, her 97th day of her age. So RIP to Barbara Walters. In terms of TV personalities, she definitely wasn't the worst. And it wasn't that long ago that she was even on TV. I mean, it seemed like she was in good health. I mean, she even looked good at the end of her TV days. So who knows? She might have lived to be 100 years old. But again, the price of fame is high, and many of people. I mean, how many times have we covered another day on Christmas? Also, just talking about astrology, I want to say shout out to Kayla Decode Talker. She sent me a great text message today. She was looking at this book, The Jesuit Guide to Almost Everything. I might have to pick up this book. But Kayla was skimming through it, and she let me know that in the book it points out that there are 35 craters on the moon named after Jesuits. And when I heard that, I said, wow, that makes so much more sense now why the NASA moon landing was on the 201st day of the year. Again, with regards to astrology, the moon landing was in 69 in the time of Cancer, where the moon is ruled by Cancer, where the astrological symbol looks like 69. Notice, NASA in Gematria is 35. NASA is 35. Most simple cipher. Jesuitism, of course, is 35. Like Catholics, 35. The Jesuits serve the Catholic Church. Like Holy See is 35. Like I is 35. Like Genesis 3:5 is about the eyes of God. Like how Jesus is 35. Like how the Catholic Church has everybody celebrating Christmas on 12/25, where the square root of 12/25 is 35. And the occult belief is that the sun is the eye of God. But anyway, NASA 35 craters on the moon named after Jesuits. And remember, the moon landing on the 201st day of the year, the Jesuit Order 201, the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, 201, the first Jesuit Pope, the first to live in Suite 201, who's Pope Francis, whose birth name is Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 201, but also the first man to walk on the moon, Neil Alden Armstrong, 201, you know. Think about all the people in the community who've entered and are now doing gematria decodes and really bizarre decodes and things like, Zach's wrong, it's not the Jesuits aren't doing this, everything's organic. Anything but. Again, the Jesuits responsible for the language as we know it, the calendar, the sinister order that's been written about for centuries, that are known killers. And you know what? With regards to Saturn and the Jesuits, let's bring it back too. The first Jesuit Pope is born on Saturnalia. And remember last year, the man born in 93 had his son drop dead on the Pope's birthday. That was the lineman for the Colts. But remember, Saturn worship is also 201. Saturnian order is 201. It's also 93, like Saturn. Actually, it's 69 and 93. Look at Saturn. 69, 93. But Saturnian order got the 69, 93 like Saturn, the 201 like the Jesuit order, also the 177. Again, the Jesuit order, 177 and 201. And sacrifice to Saturn. And don't forget, Pope Francis, when Joe Biden's son died at age 46, Beau Biden, it was 201 days for the Pope's birthday. Again, the Pope's born on Saturnalia. So, and if you guys want to look this up, there are a number of websites that have documented it, but Kayla caught it right here in this book. If you want to look it up, The Jesuit's Guide to Almost Everything. She said, you'd never believe it. 35 craters on the moon named after Jesuits. And the picture there, if you're not familiar with the Jesuits, is of Ignatius of Loyola, their founder. So, very good. And, of course, on LeBron's birthday, you guys, LeBron picked up his 15th win in Atlanta tonight. Surprise, surprise on his birthday. Atlanta 15. Lakers get the 15th win. And how many points did LeBron score tonight? He scored 47 points, the 15th prime number. So, again, the beauty of the knowledge puts you ahead of the curve. Look at that. Look at that look from LeBron. Don't forget he's an actor as well. These athletic actors, deceiving the fans night after night. 15th win in Atlanta. We call it the 15 city. 47 points, 47 the 15th prime. Can't make it up. And as I say that, I realize it's 7:47 out here on the West Coast, and Sweet Lady's thinking right now, what about spending some time with me? So I'm going to spend some time with Sweet Lady. And again, thank you to everyone who hit the like and the share, and thank you to whoever dropped the $2 for the super chat. Amy2 cracked their code who didn't need to do that. Amy2 says it's 141 days after the View release. Maybe the new season of the View? But yeah, Barbara Walters does do the View. Here, I bet she has the post on it right here. Amy does the website cracktheircode.org. She's easily become one of the best decoders in the community. And again, her website is cracktheircode.org. And I wish she'd stop giving me super chats, because she doesn't need to be giving me super chats as much good work as she's putting in. But here, let me see if I can figure out exactly what she meant about her post. And again, you know, she caught this. Oh, I did see that. I didn't even mention that, but I did see that actually when I was looking at it, that her full name is 67, like blood sacrifice and human sacrifice and satanic and killer. Indeed, indeed. So I'm glad she's got that there too. And, okay, The View debuted. Oh, I see what she said. Oh, isn't that interesting that The View debuted in 97? Nice. It debuted in 97. Now she's dead on her 97th day of her age. Capricorn 97. Debuted on August 11th. That's the 223rd day of the year. The day leaving 142 days remaining. But yeah, so 141 days after. No doubt that's a huge part of it right there. And The View's 97. My goodness, man. Great addition, Amy. I do appreciate your super chat and that observation, and absolutely. And that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. When these people die, the numbers associated with their death, they'll often fit in with the astrological component. They'll fit into what they're remembered for. And The View is absolutely part of her legacy. How about that? The View equals 97, established in 97, and she's dead 141 days after its establishment. So, again, she's using the same ciphers right here that we're talking about. The View, it's got the, look at death, 3897, look at murder, 3438. It's interesting how The View has those numbers. And you know what's sad is these other women who are on The View. I mean, hopefully we're not talking about this for another 50 years because there's some younger women on there, but what's sad is when these other women from The View die, don't be surprised if they die in the exact same pattern, the exact same kind of ritual, because that's what we've seen again and again. Just how redundant the patterns are. So, yep, that caps it off right there. And there's probably even more to it. You want to go through Barbara Walters' TV career? You'll probably find even more factoring in with this ritual. You know, one other thing I noticed is it's also 87 days after the anniversary of her first broadcast where she became an anchor. That's something that's connected to the beast. And then today has the 42 connection. Of course, the beast rules for 42 months. And you could also say it is 87 days after that day. It's also a span of 88 days. These are all things I thought about putting in the post, but sometimes I just like to keep it short and simple. But here, we're going into overdrive now. Again, it's a span of 88 days from that October 4th anniversary. Poison's 88, and again, the Jesuit favorite way of killing is arsenic poisoning, and we've been talking about that number a lot in recent days with celebrity deaths. So, very good, Amy. Thank you again. Appreciate your generosity and the excellent decode you're doing. And yeah, if Kayla's out there, shout out to Kayla too. She is. Yeah, again, you guys, make sure you're supporting everyone in the community doing the good work. The Kayla Decode Talkers. I see, yeah, right, the Matrix, of course. The Itachis. The Gematria32. I don't give him enough credit, but he does have his YouTube channel, and he's putting up a lot of helpful videos. Sometimes he takes my video and puts on a helpful edit. Gets, like, the footage in there that I'm talking about. Anyhow. So, shout out to King Henry too. Hey, King Henry, sorry you called me earlier when I was on the phone. Call me back tomorrow, I'll pick up. All right, but yeah, R.I.P. to Barbara Walters. Again, she was in the propaganda business, but at the end of the day, no one deserves to die by poisoning, which might be exactly what happened to her. So, have a good night, all, and until next time.